always there is what you may call the ethnic twist to some of these events. In this particular case, you know, Colonel Dumbaya is a Madingo, and the other dominant group is called the Koniakas. And there were all kinds of rumors that the Koniakas were plotting to get rid of Dumbaya, alleging he was corrupt, as a way of getting rid of him as the commander of the special forces. Appointment that was given to him by Alpha Condé in 2018. You know, Dumbaya, the current military leader, is a former French veteran. You know, he was a sergeant in the French army. He came back to join the Guinean army. In fact, he's a French citizen. That's one of the interesting connections.
What does it mean to say he was a sergeant in the French army? That's
enrolled,
what it is?
Yes.
As a French military
Yes,
person.
he was,
Nothing
because
to do
he's a
with
citizen. He's a French citizen. He holds that citizenship.
As in his passport is a French passport?
Yes, but then he has a Guinean passport. See, they allow that dual citizenship. It's part of the continuing...
But can you leave French army and come to Guinean army?
Oh, you see, the French has a very peculiar relationships with their former colonies. That has been a persistent problem that ECOWAS even has. Look at the economy. It's tied to the French. You know, the fact that a big chunk of their earnings, revenues, are by law to be placed in the Central Bank of France.
They are trying to deconstruct that.
They are trying to, but they haven't succeeded yet.
They're almost there.
That's why even the attempt to form monetary union in West Africa is not very much succeeding, the so-called ECO. Because until the colonies of the former French are able to delink the economy from the French, it's not going to be possible to join, you see. So all these are part of the lingering colonial legacies that continue to hamper the progress of these countries.
So why did he migrate from the French army to the Guinean army? Was it a plan?
Because they allow, it's a longer story, but what I know is that Condé wanted to have special forces formed. And this guy's a veteran, by the way. He fought in, even he was in Afghanistan as part of the French initial troops. He fought in several places, Sudan and elsewhere.
Representing the French army?
The French army, okay? Then Condé was looking for someone to come in to organize what they call the special forces. And he was found to be the best guy. So he came in to set up that special forces.
What were the special forces supposed to do?
In Ghana, you know, I think we don't call it special forces, but when these guys come out in Ghana with all these like Robocops, in Togo, these guys with long
rapid
beard,
response
exactly,
type of thing,
exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the special
so
forces.
So like police striking force?
On the police side, yes, but the military is more than that. It's like the...
Why did Condé need to have that?
Because Condé was trying to build his power in different ways to be able to tighten his hold on the country, you know. These were the forces that were used, you know, during the election to suppress opposition and to cause all kinds of abuses. So these are special forces set up by Condé, commanded by this guy, Dumbaya. Yeah, commanded by him. And he's the same guy who turned around to overthrow him.
So is he given that he worked in the French army, then he's quite an exposed soldier, perhaps more exposed than the average Guinean.
Of course, very much so, very much so. And that's why some people are even thinking that there must be a French connection to this whole episode. I wouldn't doubt it, but there's no direct evidence to that.
I see. So do you know whether his family is in France or his family is...
That much I don't know. But I know...
how did Alpha Condé recruit him, given that he was in France?
Oh. Paul, you know, in the military sector, there are all kinds of connections. Alpha Condé relates closely to the French president. And the intelligence of the French know who are in their system. This guy most certainly was an implant, was an intelligence man. Okay, no doubt. So coming to play that critical role meant so much in terms of the stability of the country. And you know, again, some sources are even saying that the way he planned the coup, because there was an attempt by the Koniakas to displace him.
Koniakas is a tribe?
Yeah, it's a tribe. And this Dumbaya belongs to the Madingo group.
Which one is majority?
Mandingo.
Mandingo is majority.
Yeah.
And they are not just in Guinea.
They cut across.
So they are in Senegal.
Gambia, Senegal.
Gambia,
yeah,
okay.
they cut
Right,
across.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even in Liberia, isn't it?
Liberia, not much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see.
So that's the Mandingo. So they are in the majority.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was this so-called plan to get rid of him, and he was alerted by French intelligence. So they decided to plot, very interesting plot, which was to say, let some people put up a fake mutiny in the camp about 30 kilometers out of the capital of Guinea, Conakry. So he mobilized, that's why he was able to mobilize about 30 trucks with soldiers, presumably going to quell that mutiny. So they went there, did whatever they did, there was no mutiny of course, came back to the president to try to announce to him that we have controlled that situation. And that was what enabled him to enter the palace with his boys and quickly arrested the man.
That's interesting. It's a very, very interesting story. So
it's an insider story.
Yes, obviously. The French alerted him.
That's what the storyteller claims.
Yes, the French alerted him that, look, you are in trouble with your tribal folks.
Yes, within the army.
Yeah, the Mandingo people want to get you out.
Exactly.
Okay.
The Koniakas.
He's a Koniaka.
He is a Mandingo, Paul.
Oh, the Mandingo is the Domboya.
Domboya is Mandingo.
But that's a majority.
Exactly.
Okay. So he was alerted that the Koniakas want to get you out.
But the Koniakas are very strong.
In financially or what?
Both, business and
politics?
Yeah.
So Alpha Conde is what?
He is Mandingo.
Conde happens to be Mandingo as well.
That's correct. That's why he trusted him, asking him to form the special forces.
That's very interesting.
Yes. These are.
So he was told, according to the story, that the Konyakas are looking for you.
Yes.
So fake a mutiny.
Fake a mutiny, which was all directed by the French. And so they did. They hatched that plot.
So President Conde was told that we are quelling a mutiny for you.
Yes, by the commander of the special forces. That we're going there to quell the mutiny.
So they moved.
So he was able to move openly the
to some place.
To some place. That's him. That's the guy.
Conde
on the screen.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just like, it reminds me of this guy in Cote d'Ivoire.
Gbagbo.
The way he was
humiliated.
It's similar things. And he was advised not to go for the third term by close friends.
Oh, Ambassador Dike, for instance, has told CTFM that he told him personally.
Good.
Yeah, that don't go for the third term. That he had been his friend for a very long time.
Exactly.
Because Ambassador worked in Guinea for the Ghanaian embassy. So
that's right.
He said that he had known him for a long time. And he told him that don't go for the third term.
A few other people I know did the same.
Wow. So coming back from the mutiny, we're going to quell a mutiny. They are coming. So now they go to see the president.
After they so-called quell the mutiny, they are going to report to the president. So they went to the palace. But, there was a plan. So they were allowed in. He went with this man, and the job was
right
done.
there, the people. So that's where the little fighting occurred.
The fight was the shooting around. We don't know how many have died.
Yeah, they said some people.
Yeah. Around the palace, because I think people or his security started to see through their plan, but it was too late. They were already inside the palace.
Yeah. So they took hold of him and went out with him.
No, they kept him in the palace for some time before formally moving him. But right now, we don't know exactly where he is.
But while he was in the palace, they broadcast on radio and TV?
Sure. He was under arrest. When you're under arrest, you don't have access to
So Domboya or Damboyo has addressed the country?
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
The latest is that he's going to form a union government as a transitional government to prepare for, I don't know whether elections or not. He hasn't come out clearly about the transitional arrangement that he wants to have. All he has said is that he wants a union form of government to prepare for the transition, but we don't know how and when.
It does him on the screen. Is he charismatic?
Well, if he's not, he's still a strong man. His size and shape tells you. And he's been around, as I told you. He has a very solid record of military.
So is he a military commissioned officer or is an other rank?
He's a colonel.
Sergeant.
He rose through. He came in as a sergeant from the French army.
And then commissioned.
Joined Guinea as a captain major, then rose through the ranks subsequently.
Colonel is senior.
Of course. From colonel, you are going to brigadier.
Brigadier, yeah.
Yes, yes.